Sweet here, welcome back to my channel. This here is going to be another video in my ongoing wig care, wig educational series that I've got running. And today we're focusing on how to untangle a messy wig, a wig that's been worn well and truly at conventions or parties or whatever. This series is perfect for those of you that are either new to wigs, or you're, for instance, cosplayers, or you're a person that enjoys wigs but don't know enough about them to take care of them and make sure you have a wig that's gonna last you for a lot of years. The wig I'm going to be brushing out today is this blonde one. It's a little bit hard to pick up just the extent of how messy this is, but like, you know, if you turn it inside out, you're gonna be able to see all the tangles that are here, and like I can't run my hands through the wig at any stage in any place here. It always makes your job easier to have a wig head. There are ways to tackle detangling without a wig head, but I definitely recommend investing in a wig head. It's also going to be useful for you to have some tools for wig styling. This is just some clips to clip out any section of hair you're not working on. And as far as a brush goes, I recommend one of these. These are the Tangle Teaser style brand brushes. These are really good for wig hair because they get in amongst everything without making things worse. This one's grubby. Anyway, start by sectioning out what you're gonna work with here. This is easier to just let the wig decide for you where it doesn't have bad tangles. And clip up. And this is about as much as I start with. When brushing a wig, you always work your way from the bottom and up. So you take a section and then you start here. And make sure that this section here is tangle free before you move on. And yeah, I never recommend like pulling on the wig like this. If it gets stuck, lift it and start again. And work your way up, slowly but surely. And if you get to a point where it tangles like this, lift and reassess the entire time. So brushing out wigs can be quite annoying and tedious. Tearing at the wig with a brush like this is only going to tear out the hair that is tied into the wig. And then we slowly move on to the next section. And if you get to a point where something feels like, okay, I can't physically brush through it, or no matter like how many times you lift and reassess, it's worth your time to sort of open up the wig hairs a bit like this and seeing if there is like, okay, physical actual tangles. And if you get to a stage like this where you don't get the brush through it, by like, you can do one of these, right? But sometimes even that's not going to help. This one actually helped, but here you can see kind of, if the camera focuses, that there's a bit of a tangle. The best thing you can do if you encounter a tangle like this is to just pull at the individual hairs till it's loosened. Voila! And then you just brush like normal. And then once you feel like you've actually made a difference at the bottom, that's when you can start getting higher up into the wig itself. But at some point you're eventually going to get to where you have to work your way from the bottom and up again because things are stuck. Hi Milo. And sometimes you have a good helper doing this. Milo. And then you just start over and work your way up. Wig work is a lot of back and forth. And here we got another good example of what I said about tangles that get stuck. Just split it apart and pull on each individual hair till the knot is gone. It's the best thing you can do for your wigs, and it also avoids over brushing it. And then eventually you're left with just some floofy hair. once you've had a wig for a long time and worn it a lot and used it a lot, there is a certain amount of frizz you're going to get at the bottom of the wig, like the tips, if you will, the split tips of the wig world. That's just actually wear and tear on the wig fibers, and I will cover how to help those be a little bit better in a different video. So subscribe, stick around, look for the next one if you want to learn about that. A certain amount of shedding is to be expected when working on wigs, much like with your own hair. The difference is that wigs won't grow it back, but if you lose a lot of hair out of your wig, I'm sorry, that's just gonna happen. So you know, the longer you have a wig, the less hair there is going to be in it, but that's just one of the dangers with wigs. It's gonna take a lot of hair to go before you notice it. Anyway, now we've gotten to this stage where it runs through pretty smooth. It's not perfect, but it's pretty smooth, and like it looks lots and lots better. Maybe not so much in the front, so I'm gonna give that a little bit of a shush too. Okay, not actually too bad. But what I look like doing at this stage where everything looks pretty smooth is go over the back, because this area here is something that is much harder to target, the nape area, when you're brushing it onto the wig head like that. So I just put it on to my wig head the wrong way around, like that, and then I give this area here a bit of a special treatment too. Just go over the bits the brush is struggling with getting to. And yeah, I've already done a lot, so it's just really the bottom here that is giving me grief, and even that, it's not problematic or difficult really. But as you can see, like here, just brushing it out, there's always going to be some tangles here, and that's just because this is synthetic fibers, and when that hits your neck, that's an area of high friction, so it's just natural for it to tangle more in areas where it's touching your body and rubbing back and forth. It's completely normal. And this is gonna happen with absolutely all synthetic wigs. Even if you have some that are like very, very tangle proof, it's going to happen to a certain extent. Some wig qualities tangle more than others, and you can also do certain things to help with the tangling. That's going to be another video. But just know for now that there's nothing you can do to avoid tangling. You're going to tangle if you wear a wig that is beyond a certain length, and even maybe with a short wig. But yeah, it's looking pretty good. Since this is a curly wig, I'm not expecting perfect straight brush through just once I'm done here, but I will try and tangle, as I said, these little end bits. It's very likely for your wig to tangle more in the ends too, as it grows older, more wear. Just because, as I mentioned, the ends are usually where you get the wear and tear of wigs the most, especially with brushing. But this wig here, it's really, really old. This wig is from 2014, I believe. So, you know, just because a wig is old does not mean it's something to give up on. I'm really, really in love with this wig still. Love the color, love how it looks on me. And it's one of my favorite blonde ones. And it's from 2013, no, 14. Well, it was probably made in 13 if I got it in 14, to be honest. But yeah, you can see I'm working with literally like 10 strands of hair probably to get that one tangle out. But I am getting it by pulling it one strand till it's out. And we can just give it a little brush and work through. Slowly but surely. And now we have a much, much better wig. Much less messy. I can run my fingers through it. I can run my fingers through it much easier. Yes, it's getting stuck at the bottom, but I'm not expecting perfection. But like, I can do this without too many issues. And yes, there's a few bits, but you can work those in peace and quiet. And now, if you want to, you can run a tiny, tiny little bit of oil or water. And I'm speaking tiny bit, like less than a quarter of a drop through. And just smoothen out the fibers, and that's gonna make it less static again. And you're gonna have a wig that looks, well, not quite as good as new, but at least ready for wearing again. And back to the shedding. This is what I've pulled out from this wig, this styling brushing session. Tiny little bit more left here. There we go. 1, 2, there we go. That's about it. What I lost from this session. And might look like a much, might not look like much at all either, depends on you. But this is what you can expect to lose out of a styling sesh. At least for this old wig. Again, depends on the quality of your wig. There we go, that's about it in terms of untangling. I hope this teaches you that to not give up on your wigs, even if they look like a useless mess, or if they've had a really rough convention, or you know, whichever. Just give it some tender love and care, and use a good brush, and we'll take it from there, you know, one step at a time. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.